The fastest accelerating cars of the 1990s have a lot in common. They are almost all supercars or homologation special built to satisfy racing regulators. Manufacturers wanted to go racing, so they built just enough production cars to be certified. It was the era in which the widespread adoption of fuel injection, ABS, and power steering improved dependability, safety, and usability. The Koenig C62 is basically a Porsche 962 racing car. Koenig C62 is a conversion based on original Porsche 962 chassis. To attain the necessary ground clearance and headlight position needed to make the car a road-legal production car, an entirely new carbon fiber body was constructed. Koenig punched out the 3-liter version of the boxer engine to produce more low-end torque. Other engine modifications included softer cams and a Bosch Mototronic system. The changes clearly worked, because the car hit a top speed of 235 miles per hour. Initially revealed on the company's founder Ettore Bugatti's 110th birthday in 1991, the EB110 came to be the last Italian-produced Bugatti before Volkswagen Group took over the troubled automaker. These days the Bugatti name stands purely for all-out speed and refinement, and so the EB110 was never a record breaker at the top end of the speed stakes, topping out at 216 miles per hour in the era of the McLaren F1. It was capable of reaching 62 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds. In 1992 Super Sport trim, one of the fastest cars of its era over the dash. That rapid acceleration was mostly thanks to the Bugatti's 3.5-liter quad-turbo V12, which transferred 604 bhp to the road through all four wheels. There is something really appealing about all of the little design details of the EB110, which could be easily overlooked, from the cluster of circular air intakes just behind the doors, to the elegantly simple interior, all the way down to the gear shift layout positioned on the transmission tunnel, keeping the gear knob uncluttered. Almost a race car in street-legal trim. The front-engine GT1 was built to meet the 24 hours of Le Mans homologation requirements. Power came from an aluminum block V8 engine, pushing over 600 horsepower. It was definitely one of the most unusual cars of the era. The GT1 debuted at the 1997 12 Hours of Sebring, but failed to finish. It later failed to finish the Silverstone circuit and again racked up DNFs at the Le Mans, where all three of them was crushed due to mechanical failure. One was even destroyed when it caught fire. Lotus wanted to go racing in Le Mans. Of course, in the 1990s, that meant at least one of the racing cars had to be road legal. The Lotus Elise GT1 utilized a production aluminum chassis with custom carbon fiber body that was optimized for endurance racing. Out went the Alice's inline-four swept for a monster twin-turbo 6-liter version of the C4 Corvette's LT5 V8. Reliability proved to be a problem for all 7 chassis, with the best success being a 5th place at Helsinki. In accordance with the FIA rules of the day, the GT1 had also to be developed as a legal road car. In fact, the differences between the race and road versions were small. In road-going mode, the rear wing was set lower, and the suspension ride height was raised. A smaller fuel tank was fitted, and the addition of catalytic converters ensured the vehicle complied with emissions regulations. Toyota says the engineers at Toyota Motorsport created just 2 production GT1s. One is on display in its museum, the other in Japan. Originally conceived in 1994, with construction completed in 1995 by a United Arab Emirates citizen who desired to own the fastest individually owned car in the world. He contracted Mercedes, which in turn also contracted Lotec for the body design. The letter C stands for carbon fiber, and the number 1000 stands for 1000 horsepower. Design and engineering cost over $1 million, and actual construction cost was over $1,200,000. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 0.2 seconds, 0 to 125 miles per hour in 8.08 seconds, top speed 268 miles per hour. The McLaren F1 had the title for the world's fastest production car from 1992 until 2005. Its top speed of 240 miles per hour puts much of even today's supercar crowd to shame, and ergonomic features like the driver-centered 3-seat cockpit have rarely been seen since. Sure, there are cars that are faster, but nobody did it the way the F1 did it. With a naturally aspirated 627 horsepower engine and 479 foot-pounds of torque. In such a small and light body, it was able to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. The Lamborghini Diablo VT twin turbo was a limited production made by Platinum Motors in California. The cars were equipped with twin Garrett T4 turbochargers with custom-built intercoolers, competition valves with race guides, cylinder heads with polished ports, and a reprogrammed electronic fuel injection system. With 750 horsepower, the 222 miles per hour was a surprise to nobody. The 0 to 60 miles per hour time was aided by the Diablo's all-wheel drive system, able to somewhat deploy all that power in such a way as to rocket the VT twin turbo from 0 to 60 in just 3.1 seconds. McLaren took the parts from the F1 that won Le Mans and decided to build a production car as the ultimate version of the mighty McLaren F1. The parts from the race car included a ground FX underbody, unique front bodywork, a rear diffuser, and a carbon fiber rear wing. The LM was a monster. 0 to 60 was over in 2.9 seconds, and it could go from standstill to 100 miles per hour in less than 5 seconds. Top speed was 243 miles per hour. The 0 to 60 miles per hour crown goes to the Dauer 962 Le Mans Porsche, which was essentially a road-going Porsche 962, the most successful prototype race car of the time. Porsche manufactured nearly 150 962s and sold many of the cars to private teams. During this period, Porsche manufactured and made available every component of the car. Of the companies that have produced a 962 road car, the most successful has been Dauer. 0 to 60 miles per hour was over in 2.0 seconds, and top speed was 253 miles per hour, besting even the mighty McLaren F1. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like for more interesting videos.